taking over for another week. Marty, thank you for having me. I would like to talk today about everything you need to know about the acoustic guitar. If you just got an acoustic guitar, congratulations, welcome to the family. I love this instrument so much for so many reasons, and I want to take you through a little walkthrough about the things you need to know about this instrument, the things you can explore as you're getting to learn it better, some picking tips for you to try and figure out what works best for you. So first things first, let's talk about all of the different aspects of the acoustic guitar. Of course, you have your tuning pegs here. They help you make sure your guitar is in tune. The crazy thing about an acoustic guitar is you have half of your tuning pegs that are wound one way, and then half that are wound the other way. So when you're turning them, you'll like tune it clockwise on top to go more flat, and then you'll tune it counterclockwise to go more sharp, and then it'll be the opposite on the other side of your guitar. But the best part about it is you can mainly just use your ear to make sure that everything is in tune, but you'll get to know that it's opposite on one side than the other side. The other things that are so important to know about the acoustic guitar, so you have your nut here, which is where your strings are fed through. All of these dots on the fretboard are basically markers to let you know what fret you're on. You'll see them happen on all of the odd frets, actually. So you'll see like the first dot is always on the 3rd fret, second dot is on the 5th, 7th, 9th, and then when you see 2 dots, and sometimes on some acoustic guitars they have like fancy designs halfway through the neck, that's usually on your 12th fret. So that kind of signals that you're already reached the full octave of what we can get into what an octave means later, but it basically means like the whole pattern of your fretboard is starting over again. So the 2 dots just means you're at your 12th fret. As we're moving on, you know, this is like the hips of your guitar. If you ever hear the hips, they're kind of referring to this little space in here. And then the body of your guitar, you know, of course, your top, your sides, and your back. This little design around the whole of an acoustic guitar is called your rosette. And then you have bridge with your bridge pins. Something that is kind of fun to explore is different kinds of bridge pins. I have brass bridge pins in my acoustic. They really help with extra resonance through the top, but when you're changing your strings, you'll need to take those bridge pins in and out. So that's kind of a good overlay of all the parts of your acoustic guitar. When you're tuning your strings, please refer to Marty's tuning video because he walks through the whole process on how to do it. I'm gonna make sure that my guitar's all in tune for you. And then also when you're buying strings for your acoustic, the best thing is to find the right strings that work for you. You can check out our video about how to buy the proper strings for your guitar here as well. And we go into a deep dive about all of those details. But the strings that I have on here are some coated, I think they're 12 gauges on this acoustic. The other thing I'd like to cover today is where you strum your acoustic has a lot of effect on the tone of what's actually coming out of your guitar. So, you know, as you're starting to learn chords and explore this amazing instrument, you know, maybe you'll learn a G chord. It sounds like this. And you'll get to know that if you strum here in the middle of your rosette, it's going to sound different than strumming right next to the bridge or strumming right close to the neck. So on some songs, I will play closer to the bridge, and on other songs, I will play closer to the neck because they sound totally different. Generally, if for a well-rounded sound, I like playing somewhere in the middle. But if you want, you know, a brighter, more resonant tone, you can play closer to the bridge, and it's going to give that like extra little punch. Listen to this difference. You hear that difference? So sometimes when I want that extra like Like when I'm playing lead lines on an acoustic, or I'm playing something that I really want to emphasize, I'll play it closer to the bridge because it'll be a little bit louder and it'll be a little bit brighter. And then on the other side of that, if you play closer to the neck, it's going to be a little bit warmer. You're going to get more of the resonance of your acoustic guitar. So let's hear our G chord in the middle. And this is the G chord closer to the neck. Do you hear how you hear more of the body of your acoustic guitar? So sometimes when I'm playing parts that I really want that warmth of an acoustic, for sure when I'm in the studio, I tend to hug a little bit closer to the neck. I play a little bit more like here. Compared to do you hear how different those sound? So you can experiment what fits right for you, or maybe right for the song that you're playing. It is always a safe space to say somewhere in the middle, but you have those flexibilities to play closer to the bridge or closer to the neck. Okay, just to illustrate a little more of how much where you pick changes the sound of what's coming out of your acoustic guitar, I'm going to strum continuously and move my hand around so you can really hear the difference. We'll just stay with a nice G chord so you can hear it. All right, we'll start in the middle and then we'll move around. Do you see how it sounds so different from here to here? So you can experiment. The last thing I want to cover is maybe you got an acoustic guitar that has a pickup built in it. If you didn't, there's also a lot of aftermarket pickups that you can pick up at your guitar store or online that, you know, can clip in right here. You can get them installed, but usually pickups have, you know, insert that you take your 1/4-inch cable and you plug right where you kind of affix your strap maybe, and they let you plug into a sound system. And then the last thing I want to add is if you live in a really dry climate, it's a really good thing to get a humidifier for your acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitars love a little bit of humidity, and I grew up in a really dry climate. So we always would have, they're just tiny little things that you can put in your guitar case, and you just like put a little bit of a water, it's like watering a plant, honestly. You put a little bit of water into it every week, and it makes sure that the wood in your guitar is going to stay healthy and is going to get the right amount of moisture, specifically when you live in, you know, the desert, for instance. So make sure you figure out where you live in the world. You can always call your local guitar store, and I know they'll know the right thing to tell you. Congratulations on getting your acoustic guitar. I hope you have so much fun learning how to play it, and maybe you can lean on Marty and I to help you do that. Make sure to follow and subscribe to Marty Music, as well as my own channel, as well as if you want to take a deeper dive into learning guitar, I wrote my first guitar course ever. It's called Playing Well. All the links are below. We'll see you guys soon.